16 minutes after 6 on this Tuesday morning. Good morning to you wherever you are. Welcome back to Sunrise. It's now time for the headlines with our girl Tico Me Elmo. What's that?
Dennis, you are, oh my God. Dennis, you know, say I come in advice of your niece, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna, listen, you are it. I don't know, like, how do you do these things, Dennis? Absolutely amazing and talented.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
TK me Elmo.
Who does that? But it's Dennis.
Dennis does that,
It's
yeah.
Dennis.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Great
What's
morning.
going on?
Great morning, both
Great
of you.
morning.
And great morning to you. Let's talk about what's been happening in the headlines. So, tech expert says Jamaica not as severely hit by the latest tech crash, right? So, spared again, local tech expert Trevor Forrest says the latest tech crash did not have as severe an impact on Jamaica as it did the rest of the world. However, days on, he says the biggest takeaway is the need to build resilience and effect swift recovery to a crisis that hit millions of systems globally. It's been over 4 days since the much-dreaded tech crash impacted well over 8 million devices. And though locally some sectors ground to a halt, others appeared resilient. CEO of 876 Technology Solutions, tech expert Trevor Forrest says, again, Jamaica was spared the worst of the crash.
Yes, I agree with Mr. Forrest, because the truth is that Jamaica is not as immersed and integrated in the IoT, the Internet of Things, and so we would not have been so adversely affected. So we were spared by virtue of our level of modernization and development. But sectors and companies and businesses and individuals who are all in would have been more impacted than others, you know. But it just goes to show the importance of having manual systems,
Right.
and maybe not being so all in with the Microsoft
Technology,
ecosystem.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I'm not the biggest Microsoft person. I'm not anti-Microsoft by any stretch of the imagination, you know, but I mean, I know I wouldn't have been as impacted on a personal level because of the number of Apple devices that I use. But there are people who are Microsoft is bigger than just the devices.
Right.
And when we look, you know, I was expecting wide-scale problems with the ATMs and the point-of-sale machines and other things that are on the platform that was impacted. And we weren't adversely impacted. Like, people were, like, my mother called me and said, is it true that I have to go and draw some money and keep in the house because we might not be able to you know? And you know, the people them start talking and say, oh, the rapture, we shall not spend our bag. We shall not be able to spend our bag. Oh, my Lord. So there was a lot of
To your
that.
point, you know, just like you mentioning not being as adversely affected, China, even though it has such a huge population, they were barely impacted as well because the majority of their systems and their platforms are Huawei.
Yes.
And so they're not as Microsoft heavy.
Exactly.
So, but
You
then again, the question is, can you have a system, a widespread system that uses several? Because if it was a Huawei issue, China would have been in
would
trouble,
have been
guess who's affected?
and the US wouldn't. You know, so it just we'll see. See. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Not up. It just goes to show. Have a look at stash.
All of your technological eggs cannot be in the same
basket.
digital
Pen and
basket.
paper still works.
Like what you did there, Dennis.
Yes.
All right, jumping into next up, Jamaicans unhappy with JPS estimated bill decision. So since the Jamaica Public Service issued a statement on its plans to send customers estimated bills this month, the public has been lashing out against the decision since some operations have been disrupted following Hurricane Beryl. But Jamaicans are not taking this decision lightly. Others believe the monopoly is the issue, suggesting that the company has gotten complacent. This is a concern that has reached the ears of Energy Minister Daryl Vaz, who addressed the matter at the most recent post-cabinet briefing. However, the minister, like many Jamaicans, believe persons will be unfairly billed with these estimates, and as such, he will be meeting with JPS.
But what do you expect? like, no, on a real, what do you expect from the Jamaica Public Service Company?
Nothing, Dennis. No bill. No bill.
No bill.
No
Oh,
bill.
okay,
No
well,
bill.
let's say that.
You can see with the two. I can give you a little discount.
No,
Why you not give me a discount? So why you not estimate a discount? Estimate a discount now? Yeah, Dennis, we're tired of it. We're tired.
I mean, on a,
Tired.
all right,
Estimate
fine.
a discount.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
But on a
just like how other people can absorb loss, you can absorb loss. So everybody hurts.
No,
everybody
but it must come out to make you worse.
Dennis, so which NC are we talking about again?
Why not give the JPS the benefit of the
And
doubt?
that's what I'm going to say. This entire issue is founded in a lack of trust.
Oh no, Godmother, right there.
Because it's very clear that, you know, the persons who are dissatisfied or don't like this decision, it's a lack of trust in JPS, which, you know, is it warranted, is it not warranted? That's up to others to decide. But if we thought, oh, JPS going to give us a little bly, or, oh, JPS probably going to sort out them thing and then charge us fairly, then there wouldn't be any questions and there wouldn't be any issues.
Why JPS need to call? Well, the lady, remember that CEO of JPS where everybody loved? When she come out, what's it?
Kelly Tomlinson.
Oh gosh, when Kelly come out and talk, you know, man, everybody said,
all right, Kelly, all right.
You know? JPS, call Kelly.
Give me a discount, please, JPS. You're kindly asking on behalf of the people.
When
we have
Kelly
suffered
and
a lot.
Kelly and Winsome come and talk.
No, Winsome a good girl.
Yeah?
But we have suffered a lot and we're asking for some reprieve. If you could just give me a little month free, I'm not telling a lie, but I appreciate it. Being back to school is around the corner. And we're all got through it. We meet spoil, whole heap of things we have to throw away, and with the equipment and the you know, with fridge and stuff like that. Get a little look here. Just
I would not want to be a JPS worker after all of what me go through for help bring the country back on stream and take the whole heap of cussing. No, because we're unable to go and actually read every meter, and so we're going logically have to go to what you call it, estimated bills. Me gonna get cussing?
No, it doesn't matter. Don't blame us, it's Beryl. It is not we really cussing, it's Beryl, it's stress.
And exactly.
We want discount. We want free light. We want
In that case, let's go on to the next headline.
All right.
Before you take on JPS anymore. All right. So expert recommends assessment for depressed police. A study into depression in the Jamaica Constabulary Force has left one researcher calling for assistance for the ailing members. That's a sign of trouble. Dr. Paul Bourne, who recently conducted a sign on depression within the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF, said. His study found that the majority of the police force battles with depression, some at a critical stage. Dr. Bourne says it's not safe for these JCF members to interact with the public with a weapon at that stage. Though the research also states that women in the force are at twice the risk of being depressed, there is concern that male members may have challenges coping. As quantum transformational psychologist Dr. Liakim Samaj explains that they are less likely to seek help, the men. The men, that is.
Full disclosure, though I didn't work on this particular study, Dr. Bourne and I do work on several studies. I know this study to be a very good study, and it is worth looking into in terms of the findings and the recommendations. The truth is that there are, I mean, it is a fact of working in law enforcement across the world. Even just first responders, generally speaking, we've seen lots of studies in terms of the military. That has been well documented in the United States. Military persons and the studies where depression is concerned. The truth is that there are some people whose job it is to engage with people on their worst day. It is their job to engage with the worst of us.
Yes.
Doing the worst things, you know?
Yes.
I never forget, if I can just quickly tell this story. I remember going up into a place in St. Catherine. It wasn't Kitson-town, but it was somewhere back that side. And there was, I think it was 5 people were murdered the night. And we went there early. I was with the then commissioner on the scene. And, you know, the investigating officer was walking us through and saying, okay, this is where the first body fell, this is where the second body fell, so and so and so, talking through the issues, just talking through the issues. And at the end, he said, okay, but how are you? And he said, how are you? And the officer said, and then the tears came.
Yeah.
You know, and like, they're real people.
Yeah.
And it is not easy to pick up the bodies.
Yeah.
So when you are...
On a daily basis,
when you are
too.
reading this story, and the thing is that the investigator who did the crime scene last week, gone back and do the crime scene
This
today.
week, yeah, yeah.
And
So there's high
yeah.
exposure to that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
even when we're watching CVM's news and you hear these stories, TK is reading it,
Yeah.
I am crying and I'm in my house
Yeah,
and I'm not directly
I have
interfacing
been
with it.
emotional
Yeah,
reading
affected,
the news.
yeah.
I have been
Yeah.
emotional reading
Yeah.
the news of somebody was shot in
Yeah.
the face.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing someone shot in the face.
And seeing it many
Yeah.
times over because
Yeah.
that's a part of your job. Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally understand, and my heart does go out to the police officers, you know. And I do, but what I do hope is that the necessary help will be implemented for them. So it's not just a study and on paper,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we will go further
Yeah.
so that we can help them. Because the truth also is they have a duty of care to the citizens. So yes, albeit you're depressed or you're going through your stuff, it still does not behove you to treat the public badly or to abuse us or to abuse your authority,
Yeah.
because you still have to be mindful. So I just want to make sure that this study is not just another empirical finding and it's just sitting there for the books, but the police officers will get the help they need. So in turn, it will translate to the citizens of Jamaica.
Absolutely.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. So that's it, TK. T to the kick to the Elmo. I can't manage you. Tickle me, TK. I gotta tell you. On the other side of the break, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to shake things up a bit with Sip on This.
I like it.
You don't want to miss that. So stick and stay. It's Sunrise.